Happy New Year to all of you. I can't wait to see what this year brings. Right now, 3:01, Saturday, January 1st, 2022. Today is also Bob's birthday. Happy birthday, Bob. For an additional announcement, we have a new friend on our island. Give a big welcome to Clyde. Welcome aboard. Moving on, today we have a visitor staying at the campsite. That's all for now. I hope you all have the loveliest of lovely days. Huh. That actually complicates our plan to bring in someone new today. Yeah, we'll do it tomorrow. So yeah, Happy New Year! I hope you all had a good time last night. Yeah, it was fine for me. You know, it was whatever. Oh, yeah. And, do I have anything in my... Oh, I bought the hats. Oh, I didn't even plant that. So, actually, before we actually get into anything, screenshots, albums. So I did the New Year's countdown last night, and while I was walking around, I didn't know gyroid pieces can wash up on the beach. I didn't know that, but sure enough, that's a thing that can happen. And we just have a bunch of pictures from me in the New Year's countdown. And then here we have the actual countdown. Because I was here. I was like, you know what? Even if I wasn't streaming it, I thought, you know what? I'll still record it. I got nothing to lose. Happy New Year. May this year hold exciting adventures for all of us. And I just have a few pictures. This is my year my heavy metal band takes off. It's cute. But yeah, that was the New Year's thing last night. You know, I just had it on in the background. Because again, I love that New Year's song, man. Which it's gotta be for New Horizons, Praise Be Unto Helix, because of how it's like it uses the New Horizons instrumental. So it's gotta be for New Horizons, and I just really like it. I don't know, it's one of my favorite songs in the game. Also, I got another bottle, which was interesting because I know I picked up a bottle yesterday, and then when I came back into the game while walking around the beaches, I found another bottle. So that was interesting. I didn't know that could happen, but I guess. Yeah, that was New Year's was fine. You know, I didn't really do anything, drink champagne, you know, nothing special. And now... But today... Now, yesterday, we gave my predictions for what my hopes are for this year, right? Like, some of the things I want to happen this year. And, today, on the other hand, I want to talk about my hopes for... Or some of my favorite things about last year. So that's what we're doing today. And we're not just going to be in Animal Crossing today. We'll start off in Animal Crossing, and we'll spend some time in Animal Crossing. But I was thinking about it, and originally I was thinking maybe we'd move over to Celeste. Because, you know, I play a game of Celeste usually around New Year's every year. And I was thinking, like, maybe we'll move over to Celeste. But then I was like, you know, I want to just sit down. We're just sitting down and talking for probably like an hour or two about my Game of the Year stuff. I don't really know if I want to do... Right, I don't know if Celeste would... I mean, we'd probably get more than halfway through the game, but I don't know if Celeste would, like, give me the focus to do that. Because, you know, Celeste has some precision platforming in it. And I was like, that's probably actually not the best idea. But I was thinking about it. But then I was like, you know, let's just do Fall Guys. I'll switch over to the PS5, and we'll just do Fall Guys. So that's the plan for today, is we're going to do some Animal Crossing, and I'll get through, I have a bunch of other categories other than Game of the Year, but then we'll switch over to Fall Guys and I'll do my Game of the Year. Sound good? Because, yeah, that's the plan at the moment. I don't know. It might change on the fly. Because I could just stay in Animal Crossing and walk around for an hour and just do nothing. But, that's less interesting. But yeah, I have categories that I want to get to before that. I got movies, television, anime, books, and board games. And I have worst video game of the year. I did take time out of my schedule to do that. It's actually very short. But no, I guess that's what we're talking about today. But I want to get rid of this New Year's hat. I guess we'll come back and do it later. Let's go find the last. Let's go make a stop around the island and then come. We'll be back at the house. Because while I know it's New Year's Day, you know, the hat's more for the night. What was it? I saw a joke on Twitter that's like, I gotta survive to the year 2111 because I want to see what the new year, like, you know, like they have the glasses with the 2 zeros on them or whatever. I want to see what the people do then for those glasses. And it's like, yeah, that's funny. Let's put this away. I got the glow stick, and the other hats in my inventory are just extra hats. Like, I bought all the colors. I mean, like, I might have already had the other colors, but I made sure to buy just in case. Oh, and the Christmas stuff is still here. I guess it goes... Again, I would think it would go away on the New Year's. But maybe it goes away on January 6th, which is the actual 12th day of Christmas. Or, you know, 7th or whatever. I think that should be every fossil. Let's open these while I'm right here and thinking about it. Wooden bookshelf we already have. Oh, that was from Dom. We should... Oh, gosh, I didn't even think about bringing in Dom for a Fast and the Furious joke. Dominic Toretto. It's all about family. Oh. Truffles. We'll have to go see who our new villager is. I guess I am kind of curious. Alright, let's go, we'll buy a new slingshot. That's not hard to do. I still haven't changed this outfit from the What If review. That was in October. That was in October. The bookshelf, because, like, just having, like, that entire side of the screen blocked is so weird. Yeah, I still like the winter outfit. It's just I don't need the hat. All right, let's put some stuff away. Sure. Oh, is this more of this? Oops, whatever. Again, I think that was fake. I think we looked at that yesterday and that was fake. Alright, so as we look back on 2021, we're going to be talking about some of the stuff I liked, right? Mostly entertainment stuff. But before we get into that, I do want to say, okay, just real talk. 2021 fucking sucked. It was terrible. We all lost. Like, I lost a lot. But we all lost a lot. I don't talk about my personal life on stream. Like, the most I say is that I go to college. That's it. And I'm not going to get into my personal life. But it fucking sucked. 2021 was terrible. It fucking sucked. I lost a lot. But we all lost a lot. And so it was just terrible. It was terrible. I know the new year technically means nothing. It's just an arbitrary date. And yeah, and I'm not even talking COVID pandemic. Like, that was bad, but like that wasn't the worst thing that happened last year for me. And maybe this year will be better. It won't be, obviously. Maybe it'll be better though. But it's been hard. But we push through anyways. We try to do better. And maybe we just need to cut ourselves a fucking break, man. Just relax. And that's fine. But last year fucking sucked. I don't expect it to be any different this year. But, just keep moving forwards or whatever. So, with that dire note, let's get into the fun stuff. So looking back at last year, I want to start with movies. Yeah, I'm a big movie guy, or at least I normally am. I did not see that many movies last year. Again, I talked previously about how, like, in the COVID pandemic, people are now only seeing movies that they really care about. Oh, look, those flowers are budding, and these ones have... Oh, that's cool. Okay, we'll worry about that tomorrow. But yeah, in the COVID pandemic, people are only seeing the movies they want to see. Like, you're not just going to go out there and spend $10, $12, non-matinee, on a movie that, like, yeah, like an Oscar bait thing, like The Last Duel or, Green Knight or anything else. And even safe stuff, like Disney's Encanto or Disney's West Side Story, that I would assume people would watch. Nope, those also bombed at the box office. And I didn't see either of them. Nope. But yeah, so this year, I did not see that many movies. And a lot of what I did see was thanks to streaming services. Like HBO Max. HBO Max was basically putting a big movie on their platform every month. And so because of that, I saw a Warner Brothers movie basically every month through HBO Max. Oh, hey, Rossetti, Happy New Year. Hopefully you have a less stressful one. But yeah, I did not see that much. But we'll start off with HBO Max. A lot of things on this list of like things I liked this year are from HBO Max. And we start off with a movie that I kind of forgot was this year or last year. I'm just going to keep saying this year for the moment because, brain hasn't processed over into the next year. And that was Godzilla vs. Kong. I know people are kind of split on this movie because it's a big monster fight movie. I loved it. It's exactly what I wanted it to be. Big monster fight movie. Still a little too much human. But you know what? I really enjoyed big monster fight movie. I like that they picked a winner. That it wasn't just like, oh no, they're tied and now they're going to team up to fight Mechagodzilla. No, it's Godzilla wins. But Mechagodzilla, after the fight, Mechagodzilla is stronger, so they have to team up to defeat it. Like, they pick a definitive winner. I can respect that. It's like a harem anime where he actually picks the girl. I can only think of a single example of that does that. But no, I'm glad they picked a winner. And I enjoyed the movie. It's fun. It's fun monster fight. And it's one of those carnal pleasures seeing big things punch each other. And I really enjoyed it. I saw it a few times when it was on HBO Max. and I watched it again because it left for a while, and then it came back, and I watched it again, and I just really enjoyed it. Big monster fight's a lot of fun, man. What can I say? Next up, also again, a lot of this stuff is from from DC streaming service. It's the Suicide Squad, or just Suicide Squad, however, whatever one it is. It's James Gunn doing another team movie, Guardians of the Galaxy. Now he's doing Suicide Squad, and it was really good. It was really fun. I liked it. It's the one Marvel superhero movie I really enjoyed. I mean, I think it's the only non-Marvel superhero movie, but I think it was really good. I didn't love it as much as some other people did, but I enjoyed it. Yeah, I didn't love it as much. Like, I know some people were like, oh, this is the best superhero movie ever. I wouldn't go that far. I wouldn't, but I enjoyed it. I think all the characters were good. It actually being as the Suicide Squad was pretty good. They give a little bit in the truth. Oh, we had a large spike this week. Oh, shit. We had a large spike and I just missed it. Huh, how interesting. But yeah, I enjoyed the Suicide Squad. Or Suicide Squad, whatever it was. And I know they're doing that Peacemaker series that comes out later this year. Gosh, that was all those scenes. God, it was so funny. It was so well done. Good cinematography. I'm just thinking for some reason when I said Peacemaker, I think of that one scene of them going into the village and just killing everybody, and then realizing it's the Allies' village. God, that was fucking funny. But yeah, no, it's just it's a really good movie that does the Suicide Squad really well. And yeah, I enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it. Next up, Dune. It's just like, I guess I'll mention this now. I think I mentioned it in books as well later. The movie got me to try to read Dune. And I tried. I think I got 100 pages in. I think the book's, 600 pages? I tried to read Dune. I just couldn't. But because it's some dense sci-fi. But the movie was really good. The movie was really good. It made it approachable. I mean, there are still some things where it's like, but for the most part, it worked really well. I like Dune. I didn't know, because again, it's one of those things where it's like, this could either be really well, or this could go really poorly. Because it's Dune, and it's hard to adapt. But I think they did a really good job at it. I would love to one day do the book, but I don't know if that's going to happen anytime soon. But I would love to. Oh, I swear there was a... Yeah, next up, Mitchell's versus the Machines. This was Netflix. I had seen the trailer for the movie last year. I think it's produced by, Lord and Miller, who did Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs, Spider-Verse, 21 Jump Street. It's produced by them, and it looked really good. And it's called Connected at the time, and then this year it got bought by Netflix and came out as the original title, Mitchell's vs. the Machines. And it was probably the best. I liked Encanto, but I think this was... And did Pixar put out a movie this year? Oh shit, what movie did Pixar put out this year? They must have done something, right? Because I know they put out Soul late last year. And Turning Red is this year. Well... Oh, they put out Luca. Luca was good. I enjoyed Luca, but I think I like Mitchell's vs. the Machines more. It was just a fun movie. It got a lot of good laughs. It's got a good heart. I really enjoyed it. Yeah, I recommend. It's on Netflix. Yeah, I recommend it. And that's one of of the things I just talked about. I think Mitchell's vs. the Machines is still there, Whereas like most of these, I think Godzilla vs Kong is back, but I don't think they put Suicide Squad back on. Dune's not back yet, so like that's the one that you could easily go see. Yeah, no, the parents' dynamics is good. The characters are good. The whole surviving the apocalypse stuff is interesting. God, the Furby bit is so good. It's just it plays into it exactly. And there's some good commentary about like social media and using like technology to like harvest people, and there's some relatable aspect to it about like, you know, making like movies and right how like that's what Katie does, is she makes movies. And you know, I can relate to that, being a kid who made movies at one point, you know, before doing all of this. And then finally Spider-Man No Way Home. I did an entire like hour stream talking about Spider-Man No Way Home. I'm not going to go into spoilers today. I just was it the favorite because again, I didn't see much this year. Was it the best thing I saw this year? Yeah, maybe. I mean, again, Dune was really good. And I didn't really see any art house stuff this year. Like no, normally I go see like art house stuff and Oscar bait, but nope, I just didn't watch any of it this year. So because of that, my bar is kind of like I just didn't see much. So Spider-Man just kind of ends up on top. Not saying it's really good. Don't get me wrong. Spider-Man is great. It's just like I feel like in a different year it'd probably be like at a number 2, but I just didn't see much this year. So yeah. I don't, that's weird to say, but that's kind of how I feel. I really liked it. Spider-Man's really good. I did an entire hour review on it. And I still left out, like, I realized, like, an hour after I ended off that stream that I had left some stuff out. That I'm not, again, I did a spoiler thing. If you haven't seen it, what? It's been almost a month now. Okay, it's been like 15 days. Oh, I knew you were going to be a horse. From Sunflower. I have no idea. Oh my gosh, that's someone on my friends list. I couldn't tell you off the top of my head who. But yeah, Spider-Man. I'm not gonna go into any more details. Just know I liked it. I really liked it. Best thing I saw this year, probably. The one thing I will say I did not see, and this is totally my fault, is Bo Burnham's Inside. I saw it went up on Netflix and was like, oh, I should watch this. Oh my gosh, I like Bo Burnham's previous specials, like, and this is great. And then I didn't like. I think I was busy that week. Like that wasn't midterms, but like something was going on that week. And then I was gonna watch it with like a few other people, and something came up instead. And then like the more people started talking about it, and like I know it's the more people that talk about it, the more you should want to watch it. Because like that's what happened with Squid Game. Squid Game was something that everyone was talking about, and I was like, yeah, okay, I'll watch it. I just didn't do that for Bo Burnham's Inside. I wanted to, and I just never did. But I know I've heard everything about it, that it was fantastic, and I just didn't. Again, like I said, maybe if I'd watched that would have been on top, and Spider-Man would have been below that, but who knows. But yeah, I just didn't get around to it. And I should have. And I just didn't. And then especially like the more time that passed from it, the more I felt like, oh, I don't know what this is, and I don't even know where to start, right? And I know, oh, you just watch a Special Idiot, that's where you start. But you know what I mean. Like, it feels like you miss the moment, because we live in a culture of FOMO. Oh, wow, finally I got Sugarcane Island. God, that took forever. Yeah, we live in a culture of FOMO, and I missed it, and that was it. I know, I'm the worst. So I guess that takes us on to TV. Squid Game. I guess we'll start. That's where we'll start. Squid Game. I enjoyed. It blew up at a moment. It blew up a little too much, in my opinion. Like it blew up the same way shit like Undertale or Friday Night Funkin' did, where it just like it's everywheres and it kind of becomes a parody of itself at some point. And I started to get annoyed by it. Especially once Mr. Beast did that thing. I was just like, I'm so tired. Because it became because the Mr. Beast thing is a parody of itself. Because, like, the whole point of Squid Game is that capitalism is bad, or South Korean capitalism. And then by Mr. Beast recreating it, he literally proved the show's point, basically, that, yeah, capitalism is bad. I know we like Mr. Beast, but... Or at least I think we do. I don't know anymore. But yeah, no. But Squid Game was good. For that moment, like, of actually, like, watching the show, I liked it. It's not perfect, but I like it. Centaur World, we just, like, 2 days ago, we talked about Centaur World Season 2 for, like, an hour. And I did a review of the first season way back in, like, I don't know, like, halfway through the year. It's just, Centaur World was a great animated show. The reason I wouldn't say it's, like, my favorite thing I saw this year is because of the second season. The second season just didn't stick the landing, but the first season is still so good. Yeah, I'm not going to go into any more details on that. Just know I watched it. I really liked it. It's on Netflix. 2 seasons. That's it. Complete show. Go watch it. Less than 20 episodes. And then, let's see. And then there's, my favorite show I did watch this year was I finally got around to watching... Oh, and I rewatched, also this year, I rewatched the entire DC animated universe. So, right, Batman the Animated Series, Superman the Animated Series, Justice League Unlimited. I watched all of that, and that stuff is still amazing. But, like, I'm only talking about, like, new stuff I watched this year. So, like, that stuff is, like, Batman the Animated Series is probably still the best thing I saw this year. But, like, all that other stuff is really good, and, like, don't get me wrong. Like, I love that stuff. But new things was after I finished all that, I started Harley Quinn. And Harley Quinn was the best show I watched this year. I did a review for that one as well, and I was just, like, blown away by how good it was. And I know it's getting a 3rd season later this year, and I'm super excited. But yeah, the first 2 seasons of Harley Quinn just blew me away. It is so good. And it's just done so well. And again, I did an entire review on it, but God, I loved it. Favorite thing I watched this year. And then finally, normally I do so every year for the past few years, I've done like a favorite YouTubers list. It's only 4 YouTubers I learned existed in the year. So it's not like, oh, well, hey, like the favorite people I watch this year are like the obvious, like Achievement Hunter and Chilled Chaos, right? But those are the people I watch like every year. Exuma, right? Stuff like that. But you know, I watch them every year. So instead, I have a list of just people I watched. So I'm just gonna let's just go through that list, shall we? Okay. Oh fudge! Oh my god! So the first person is called Easy Speezy. They do like comedy related speed runs. Like, oh, we're gonna speed run. Like they speed run games that like shouldn't have speed runs but do anyways. And there's some really funny stuff in there. I stopped watching them. Like I probably watched them for like a month, but during that month I really enjoyed their stuff. Like for that month I was in, you know. Oh, okay. So yeah, so that was just a lot of people on this list are going to be speedrunners, spoiler alert. Cuz I got big into speedrunning this year. Like last year I was big into Super Mario 64 speedrunning. This year I was big into Mario Odyssey and Breath of the Wild speedrunning. And you'll see a few people on there. Next up was Kappa Kaiju. I think I got into Kappa Kaiju because of their video on... Oh gosh, was it Yandere Dev? Because Yandere Simulator supposedly finished this year. It actually didn't, but you know, they claimed to be done with it anyways. I used to love Yandere Simulator back in the day, but that was a long time ago. And I think that's what got me into their videos. And then I think they did some stuff on Onision's books that I found fascinating. I got into a few booktubers this year. And that was one of them. Because, yeah, I just found that fascinating, really. The Onision book, which led me into... So, Kappa Kaiju led me into Strange Aeons, who also did videos on Onision's book. I didn't watch much of their stuff, but what I did, I liked. I didn't watch much, but the one who also came off of that I did watch a lot of was Sarah Zed. I got it. Sarah Zed's one of those people. Sarah Zed, Jenny Nicholson, who is also on this list. And I've been watching Lindsay Ellis for a few years now, who retired this year. Yeah, let's use retired for lack of other word. Forced off the platform, I guess. But yeah, I've been watching Lindsay Ellis, but I've always seen Sarah Zed and Jenny Nicholson in the background. But I've never watched their stuff, but this year I did. I got into Sarah Zed, I got into Jenny Nicholson for a little bit. Sarah Zed I'm still on board with. Like, I'm still watching Sarah Zed when they occasionally put out videos. Sarah Zed was the reason I finally finished the Adventure Zone graduation, because of their video. Not the main reason, because I did want to finish it on my own, but like that was the motivation to finish it. And they just did a video on the Mean Girls musical, which I have seen I've seen the Mean Girls musical live, so I'm kind of curious, and I liked it, but so I'm curious to see. I mean, I have problems with it, but like I think it's like the video's like why the Mean Girls musical is garbage or something like that. So that's gonna be interesting. But yeah, all like some of these commentary YouTubers I got really into. Crimson Rogue, a book YouTuber who does like books. I actually read Ready Player 2 before they did their video on Ready Player 2. And it was just like, everything I have to say on it, they said. Like, seriously, they just nailed it. They did a bunch of other stuff. I watched their video on Model Land, or I had it on in the background. Some of these commentary channels I like, because I can play like a Fall Guys or something, and have them on in the background. Oh, did I buy a Oh my god, I brought a watering can. I meant to buy a slingshot. Yeah, some of these commentary channels I can like have on in the background while I play a video game, and they have like hour-long content, so I don't have to like refresh the page constantly or find something new, but I can just instead watch like an hour-long video, and that works for me. Or just listen to it while I play a video game. And yeah, so that's why I got big into commentary channels. Yeah, Crimson Rogue was a good one. From Crimson Rogue, Generally Pookie, in their video in Crimson Rogue's video on, I think it was Handbook for Mortals, they mentioned Generally Pookie, who does like animated like book stuff about Handbook for Mortals. I think they did the Mister, other stuff, I assume. I can't remember off the top of my head. I know there is other stuff. And yeah, it's animated stuff. They didn't put out, like, they went inactive for like a long time while working on like this big video. But that was really good, and I think they do great stuff. And I think the cute animated penguin's very cute. And yeah, it's just a good commentary channel. Oh, wait, what is that? What's this? Oh, a gyroid, okay. Oh, that's random. Then there was Lord Ravenscraft, who did a series on Animorphs. So I'd never read Animorphs as a kid. I was a Goosebumps kid. I didn't read Animorphs. Oh my god, I did not know what goes on in Animorphs. Holy shit. It gets dark. It gets brutal. They commit war crimes. It goes all over the place, and I knew nothing. I was so caught off guard by that. Like, wow, Animorphs go places. And, like, they put out another video since then that I haven't seen yet. But, like, just the first, like, 2 videos, I was so surprised. Okay, I'm gonna finish the list. God, I still got so much to talk about, and I'm kind of done with everything in Animal Crossing for the day. Shit. We'll finish the list. We'll finish this list in Animal Crossing, and then we'll move on. So yeah, just the Animorph stuff was interesting. Crit Crab reads D&D horror stories, because I've been a fan, because this is the first year I played D&D, and we'll talk about that a little later once we move over to Fall Guys. But I played D&D for the first time this year, and I got into Crit Crab, who does reads D&D horror stories. Oh, is the stream lagging? Come on. And I'm disconnected. Okay, am I back? Did it reconnect? I went down. I went down there for a second. Okay, I should be back. So, what was I saying? Oh, Crit Crab. I got into Crit Crab. Just reads D&D horror stories. You know, it's some interesting, entertaining stuff. It's some entertaining stuff. I enjoyed it. I enjoy some of those D&D horror stories. That's just some real fascinating stuff. Shadiversity does like weapons and talks about like fictional weapons and real weapons. I don't know, like I like that's not something that I would think I would be interested in. Kind of like same thing with like last year I talked about Mike Burnfire and how like I don't care about guns, but listening to someone who's really knowledgeable about something they're really passionate about is super interesting. Right, listening to Zach talk about guns, listening to Shad talk about weapons, it's just interesting. And there's another person who does who talks about armor, and I don't remember her name, but she's also she might have been on last year's list, but she's also really good. And yeah, she talks about like armor and whatnot, and occasionally weapons. Next up was oh gosh, is this? Just gotta make sure I got the right person here. Oh, was Okay, I think I remember this. So this is Nathaniel Bandy, who does like challenges, and they might do speedruns as well. But I know they do like some game challenges, like, oh, what if we did this game with this thing, or what if this happened, or it seems to be some ranking stuff in here as well. I don't know, whatever it was, I was like, whatever, gosh, I don't remember all the details, but whatever their content is, Nathaniel Bandy, for like a month period, I was like big into him. And sometimes that just happens. Next up, oh gosh. I think this was the period where I got into like challenge videos. Cause next up you have Swanky Box, who did like Mario 64 challenges and a few other things like that. I just got big into like challenge videos and like what if we mod a game where like we make all the floor lava or we cover the level in water. Tetra Gaming, same thing. It was also those challenges. And that led me into, am I gonna say this is like, it's either this person or Sarah Zed is my YouTuber of the year. Like the one I watched the most, the one who I was the most invested in. And like I said, it was either Sarah Zed or it was Doug. Doug just does like challenges on stream. Like, oh my, there's one where it's like, oh, I'm playing Skyrim, but they have like a text to speech filter thing, or a speech to text filter, and every time they say like dragon, it summons a dragon. And it had me in tears. I was laughing so hard. And they've done a bunch of challenges like that. And I really enjoy, again, it's one of the only other two YouTubers who I like keep in, like a lot of these people like who I've mentioned, I would like get big into them for like a few weeks or like a month, and then I haven't watched some of their stuff since. Doug is one of the few where I'm like, nope, I'm still watching their stuff. Whenever they put it, like, I actually subscribe to them, and like I enjoyed their stuff. I'm still really enjoying their stuff now. I'd never heard of him, and then I found out like, oh, they crossed over with some other YouTubers I liked, and yeah. Point Crow. Point Crow is also on this list. And then I found out Point Crow crossed over with RT Game like last month. So I was like really surprised by that. But yeah, Point Crow is a Breath of the Wild speedrunner who also does some of these challenges. Like they did a challenge in Breath of the Wild where like based on the Doug thing where if you say Guardian, it summons a Guardian. And it's just super entertaining stuff. And like there's speed runs, like can you beat the game with these conditions, stuff like that. And that was really fun. And that led into I went from Breath of the Wild speedrunning to Mario Odyssey speedrunning with people like Smallant and CJ. Now I had heard of Smallant before. I feel like I've heard of Smallant for a while now, but I've never watched any of their stuff until recently. And I was like, no, this is pretty good. But because I got earlier last month, I found out Mario Odyssey has a multiplayer mod made by, I want to say, Crafty Box, and it's really like they do like hide and seek, and I think they've speedrun the game, and I was just like, oh my gosh, this is so great. That needs to be in Mario Odyssey too. It's such a good idea that they need to do that in a future game. It's so fun just to watch, and I'm sure it's super fun to play as well. But I liked Smallant, but I actually liked CJ more. I was watching CJ before we started the stream today. CJ was really good. Really enjoyed their stuff. Really funny, really good speedrunning stuff. And of course it's this group of people and they like cross over with each other. Smallant. Oh gosh, what else? Oh, I remember Smallant, CJ, Shiftry. Was Shiftry one of them? I don't know, but those were the two I watched, and yeah, I liked CJ. And yeah, and all these people, Doug, Point Crow, Smallant, CJ, they do like challenge stuff. But I don't know, at the end of the year, this was like what I was big into. And it makes me want to play. I know I've been talking about like one day I'll play Breath of the Wild again. And that's a long way away, but I'm totally open to play Mario Odyssey whenever. And I kind of want to replay Mario Odyssey now. And then just a few other things to wrap up. Primer did like it's all science stuff about like simulating like life, and like they talk about like genetics and whatnot, and like competition. It's just science stuff, but I found it fascinating. You know, I like some science tube. Like I like Tier Zoo. So yeah, that was like that took me like a day to binge all their stuff, but I really enjoyed it. And then finally we have Sagan Hawks. So in like October-ish, I got into like a Five Nights at Freddy's binge thing where I kind of wanted to play Five Nights at Freddy's again. And I think I didn't really, but Sagan Hawks did like this big retrospective series on Five Nights at Freddy's and a few other things. And it was really good and really interesting. And yeah, I enjoyed their whole Five Nights at Freddy's retrospective thing. And yeah, that was like that from like my Five Nights at Freddy's like nostalgia. That fed my Five Nights at Freddy's appetite, if you know what I mean. So yeah, that was really good. But yeah, like right now I'm just watching like CJ and Smallant and whatnot. But yeah, like I said, so yeah, those are all the YouTubers I watched this year. I mean, those are all the people I learned existed this year. And, you know, there's all the standards that I've been watching for years and will continue to watch for years. But it's always nice to add in a few new people into the rotation, like Sarah Zed and Doug. You know, those add on top of just Internet Today, Achievement Hunter, well, the Rooster Teeth family in general. Exuma, the other person, Chilled Chaos. Right? It's always nice to add in some new people into creation. I got back into Markiplier for a bit, watching the FNAF Security Breach series, which I need to finish, but that 3-hour live stream is kind of daunting. And yeah, that's all the YouTubers I watched this year. It's a decent list. I mean, it's a lot of like commentary stuff, but you know, I got into it because, you know, time is limited. So when I can like multitask and I can like, oh god, I don't even have favorite podcast on this list, and I don't even know what I would put. Magic and Misfits, I guess, Dimension 20. But, oh yeah, because I got into that. Magic and Misfits was so good this year. But, like, I don't really even have, like, you know, time is limited. So when I can multitask and, like, watch a video on, like, from, like, Sarah Zed's new video while playing, Animal Crossing, you know, it's fun to do that. I know that's taking a lot of your attention, and it has kind of made me reliant. Like, I can't just sit down and play a game. I have to have something on in the background. But it's really good. It's really good for what it is. And yeah, so that's, I mean, this started off as television, but that's kind of where it went. But I wanted to get that in here somewheres. So we're going to end off with Animal Crossing, but I'm going to switch over to Fall Guys. Because, you know, we've been wandering around in Animal Crossing for the last, like, 10 minutes. And I want to switch over to Fall Guys. I have to switch some cables out real quick. It should take me, like, a minute. But yeah, it was a good year for YouTubers. You know, I really liked a lot of these people. And while I don't watch many of them anymore, you know, the ones I did watch, I really enjoyed. And some of them also, like, they put out content, like, once a month. And that kind of makes it, like, Crimson Rogue, I guess Sarah Zed, they put out, like, one video a month, and I can work with one video a month. Whereas, like, some of these people put out, like, daily stuff. Not many of them, but some daily, weekly, you know, stuff like that. It's all about what you can find time to do. So, yeah, I'm gonna switch over, so give me a minute. This will take me a second, because I just gotta switch out a cable. And I tested it out earlier, and it worked. Let's just... Okay, it was giving me a weird error there, but I fixed it. Okay, yeah, sure, that works. Just changing over the stream info. It's been a while since I played Fall Guys, and we're on PS5. I've never played it on PS5. We're just gonna do some main show. So next up from television, anime. I watched maybe like a dozen shows this year. In some ways, new show-wise, I watched maybe 6. And of the other stuff I watched, it was mostly stuff I'd already seen before. One of which we'll talk about tomorrow, because I finished it last night. But, it was mostly just stuff I'd already seen before. I think I watched Gamers again, I think. I watched, oh gosh. I know I rewatched a few things. I can't remember. I talked about them throughout the year. I can't remember any of them, but I know I watched a few things this year. But the three I gotta talk about, or the 3 I want to talk about is, Over the Moon for You, which is, it's like a love romance anime where, like, this guy almost dies, but he gets saved by this girl, and his name's NASA, and he, like, falls in love with her, but she disappears, and then she comes back one day mysteriously and asks him to marry her. And that's like, okay, that's interesting, and it's just, like, about them, like, living the married life together. And, like, something is up with her, but you never find out what. And, like, there's like a fan theory that she's like an angel and he died. And, like, she like comes from like a rich family and she's got like a moon rock, and there's something going on there, but you never actually find out. I'm sure like a manga or something would answer that. Oh god, how do I play Fall Guys? Okay, I remember now. But yeah, it's weird. It's a weird anime, but it's cute. It's very cute and it's kind of wholesome. And yeah, I think the big hang up is you don't get any answers. But other than that, I enjoyed it. It was fun. And next up, there was an isekai called So I'm a Spider, So What, which is basically right this class gets like all of a sudden gets like light beamed, and they get transported into another world. And they all come back, like, different. Like, most of them come back as, like, humans or whatnot. But, like, one character comes back as, like, a dragon pet thing. Another character comes back as a, right, it's weird stuff like that. But one character comes back as a spider. And for most of the show, you're following her adventure as she's, like, trapped inside a dungeon, disconnected from all the other people. I did not finish this show, I should say. I think it was like 24 episodes, and I think I only saw like 18 or something like that. But those 18 episodes I did see were really good. And it's like leading places, because like you figure out at some point that the stuff happening with the spider and the stuff happening with the rest of the class takes place in like, I think it's like, there's like I don't want to say 5 years, but it's like a 3-year difference. Like, the stuff happening with the class takes place like 3 years later. Meanwhile, the spider is just trying to survive in the dungeon. And it's good. And, like, I have an idea. Like, there's something that happens, and it's like, oh, that's where it's going. Okay. Like, you get a good idea at some point where it's like, okay, especially with, like, the stuff going on in the future, where it's like, okay, I know what's going on here. I know why this is happening. That's interesting. But then there's like some meta stuff about, not meta as in like talking to the audience, but like the fact that they're like trapped in like a video game or whatever, and there's like an admin. So like there's some weird stuff going on there. I didn't finish it, so I don't know how it ended. But even not finishing it, it was still really interesting. I know some people really hate the isekai genre, especially because it is overplayed, and it is overplayed. That's fair. But I enjoyed it. I enjoyed this one. And then finally, so I thought I watched this show last year. Because I keep a list of all the anime I watch. And my list of, like, anime, not the anime I've seen, but the anime I want to watch, hit 500 this year. That doesn't mean I've seen 500 shows. I've only seen, like, I don't know, like 100 or so. But my list hit over 500. 500 shows I need to watch, or 400, because, again, I've seen about 100 things. And, so I keep track of that list, and I thought I watched My Next Life as a Villainess, All Routes Lead to Doom last year. Because it was a show that released last year. Nope, turns out I watched it this year. Turns out I watched it in January of this year. Oh, hey, Frogman, how you doing? We're talking year in review. I'm talking anime right now. But yeah, My Life as a Villainess, it's another isekai, but like the main character is the villain, and like she realizes she's the villain, but she realizes it when she's young, so she knows she's gonna die, and so she has to like prevent it from happening. Favorite anime I've watched ever, Fruit Baskets. I haven't seen Fruit Baskets 2019. I haven't seen the remake. I'm talking the original. Yeah, Fruit Baskets. But, so yeah, this My Life as a Villainess, she has to, like, prevent her death. Because, like, all the people she meets as, like, a kid are gonna potentially kill her in the future. My problem with the show is that by, like, the end of the 3rd episode, she's already avoided her fate. Like, you already know she's not gonna die. That's, like, my one problem with the show, or at least the first season. However, even with that, it's a very, like, it's just like a slice of life style, like, fantasy world thing. It's got a bunch of romance in it, but I really liked it. I don't know, there's just something about how the characters are written that are so good, and it's so, like, it's got, like, so much heart, and I really enjoy it. Even, I mean, and they try to add back in stakes, and I do think there is a way to do, like, a show like this, where, like, the main character is reincarnated in a world where she's the villain, but she only because, like, in this, she remembers when she's, like, 6, so she's got her entire childhood to prevent it. There's a way to do this, where, like, she remembers, like, the first day of high school, and she's, like, already in a shitty situation, and she has to fix it from there, that I think would be better. I think there's a way to do this where she remembers like her first day of high school. That would be stronger. But even with that, I legitimately loved this show. The second it got a second season this because it came out last year, but it got a second season this year. Second season not as strong. I didn't like the second season as much, but I didn't hate it. And I think that first God, it's my same thing with Centaur World. It's got a strong first season and a second season. But this show, it leads off hinting at a third season. And I hope we get a third season. Because, I don't think we need it, because I think the original show ends on a perfect note. But if you're going to cliffhanger us, pay off that cliffhanger. I don't know. I know there's a big problem in anime where, like, they never get that third season. They never get that final season. World God only knows. Only needed one more season, and they never got it, and it still breaks my heart. But yeah, I didn't watch much anime this year, but of the stuff I watched, that was the stuff I really enjoyed. Next up, books. Worst book I read this year, Ready Player 2. Just straight up. I read Ready Player 1 a few years ago. It's fine. Popcorn, whatever. Ready Player 2 was terrible. And seeing that video from Crimson Rogue, I was like, oh yeah, oh my gosh. It puts it into words. It really does. Like I said, I tried reading Dune this year, and I just couldn't. I tried, but it's too dense sci-fi for me. I don't like, it's weird. I don't like dense sci-fi, but I'm fine with dense fantasy. Like, there's just something about, like, it's a personal thing. Like, I struggle to get into sci-fi, but I can totally get into fantasy. So, I don't know. I guess that's just me, but... Oh, gosh. And then, the only other book I read, I read the Harley Quinn because I got into the show, so I picked up the comic book. That's still coming out weekly, or monthly, I mean. And that's been pretty good so far. There's a panel in the first issue where they just tell them they love each other. That's really good. So that's been fun, and I've enjoyed the Harley Quinn comic. I didn't really read that many other comics. I tried to read a few other things, but nothing really went anywheres. Except for Lumberjanes. So Noelle Stevenson is someone I've followed on Twitter for like a long time now. I like their work. They do some good stuff. And even though I've never watched She-Ra, I mostly just check out like some of their personal stuff. I need to this year. I'd love to this year to cut off some of my loose ends. Watch the shows I've never seen before, like She-Ra, like Hilda, and other stuff as well. Like I'd love to catch up my loose ends. I don't know if that'll happen, but I'd love to try. Yeah, so I checked out their comic Lumberjanes, and I really enjoyed Lumberjanes. It's just about a group of students at like the Lumberjanes camp for strong lady types, and they go on like magical adventures and whatnot, and deal with like all this weird stuff going on in the forest. It's like I picked up all the collections. Oh god, they have a name. I picked them all up. It's really good. I felt like the first 8 or maybe even the first 12 are very solid, and then it kind of meanders around a little bit, and then it just ends. But like it starts off the first 2 trades are very good, and then it's going really strong for a while, and then maybe it's around like 12. It just kind of like it hits this big moment with 12, and then they just kind of don't do anything until like 18, where it ends. Or it ends at like 18 or 19. But I still really like everything that worked. Like they got into like filler territory for a while. But other than that, everything that really worked in Lumberjanes, and I really enjoyed it. I read it over like the span of like a month. Oh, I also read was Invincible this year? Fuck. Oh my god, Invincible goes on my TV list. Invincible was a great TV show. Loved it. And even though I had read the comic book before, I finally finished it this year, and the comic book ended very strong. I really enjoyed it. It's going to take like 1,000 seasons to adapt into the animated show, but I'm sure they'll do it, and I'm sure it'll be great. God, I forgot that was this year. Or last year, 2021. That feels like it was forever ago. Holy shit. I can't believe I forgot that one. But yeah, Invincible was great. Great comic, great show. Excited to see more of it whenever that comes. And yeah, that's all the books I did this year. Board games. So 2021 was the first time I ever played D&D. I've been a fan of D&D podcasts since like 2015, 2016. But I'd never actually played D&D. I never had a D&D group or anything. But I have a board game group, and I was finally able to convince them to try out D&D. We did, not a one-shot, we did a two-shot. It took 2 sessions. And it was fun. And I know they liked it. I don't know. It's hard for them to admit, because, they're still stuck in that mindset of D&D is nerd shit. But, I know they enjoyed it. They enjoyed the alcohol, because, D&D can totally be a drinking game if you want it to be. And, yeah, D&D was really good. And I'm glad I finally got it. Maybe I'll do another campaign at some point, but I was able to do a one-shot. Again, it turned into a 2-shot, but I was able to do it, and it worked out really well. So yeah, this was my first year doing D&D. I also did Ticket to Ride. Ticket to Ride is one of those board games that I've heard a lot about, but I'd never actually played. But I picked it up last year. Again, I keep saying this year. And I really enjoyed it. I played it a few times. And I picked up Ticket to Ride Europe as well. That's how much I liked it. So yeah, I really enjoyed Ticket to Ride. I haven't played Europe yet. I'll probably play it maybe today or tomorrow. But I really enjoyed it. Let's see, what else? I picked up Red Dragon Inn. Haven't played it yet. I've been kind of pushing it off for a while now. I'll get around to it. I haven't played Azul yet. Codenames was fantastic. I'd seen that through like Achievement Hunter and Chilled Chaos, and because it's all online, you can just do it online. But I also have the physical version now. So Codenames is fantastic, really. Great word game. Not my favorite word game that I played this year, though. Not my favorite word game I played this year. Catan. I loved Catan. I know some people don't like Catan. I love it, personally. I love me some Catan. I got into the expansions this year, like Seafarers and the Pirates one, Pirates and Explorers or whatever. And yeah, Seafarers was really fun. I enjoyed Seafarers. The islands bit adds a great dimension to the game without going too far, which is kind of what Pirates does. Like my board game group, we did Pirates and Explorers, and they were kind of turned off because Pirates just adds a little too much, But we did that, and yes, but Seafarers was great. But there's a lot of good stuff this year, and Codenames is really good. But the word game I really liked, and I think I got it this year. I might have got it last year, but I think I got it this year. Very early on in the year, was Werewords. So, God, I'm probably repeating myself. If I said this last year, then I said this last year, and just put Codenames instead. But Werewords is one of those, is a hidden word game, and it takes word game and adds in mechanics of like werewolves, right? Where you have one person who's like trying to deceive everybody, and it's like 20 questions, but it's really fun. After it all, fun. Yeah, maybe I'll see you around. Never know. But yeah, Werewords, you're just trying to guess word. I have like the edition that has like all the extra rolls, and that's really good, and that adds a lot of fun to the game. Because like you can do other stuff that's not like traditional just word guessing stuff. And it's just you have people on 2 teams, and it just works really well. Werewords is just a good working word game. Very simple. It's all done through like an app, so it makes everything super simple. And yeah, I really enjoyed it. And I think it's one of the best word games in a while. But I gotta give it up to Codenames as well. I don't know. There's just something about word games. Like, and I'm not talking Scrabble. I don't care for Scrabble that much. I'm talking, right, Codenames, Werewords, Anomia was another good one. Median. I only got to play Median once this year, but Median was really good. And that's, Anomia is about getting, like, commonalities. Or no, Codenames, or Median is about getting commonalities. Anomia is about guessing other people's words. But there's just something about word games that work really well, that are really enjoyable. So yeah, anything else? No, that's all I got for board games. Oh, I'm lagging again. Am I back now? God, I don't know why it keeps going out. But yeah, and then I guess so that's board games, and that leaves us with our last category, video games. Oh boy, did I play a lot of video games this year. Let's talk about the bad ones first. There are 2 bad video games that I got. The first is Balan Wonderworld. I got Balan Wonderworld for like a $5. Like, it cost me nothing to get. And I was like, you know what, let's see how bad this is. Because, you know, when you're a poor broke college student, you've only got so much money, so you try not to buy bad games. But every once in a while, when stuff gets like cheap enough, you gotta do it just to do it, you know? Like, even just to have it in your collection. It has some worth to it. And that was Balan Wonderworld for like a $5. Same thing with Fallout 76. For a $5, which Fallout 76 is not one of my worst games, I should say. Like, I didn't love it, but I also didn't hate it. Like, it didn't, like, piss me off. Unlike Balan Wonderworld, which was just annoying. God, did you know they made a book for Balan Wonderworld and I almost read it as a joke? I read some books as a joke this year. Some bad, some entertaining. But yeah, I read some books as a joke. That's why I read Ready Player 2 as a joke. Of course, it stops being funny after a while, but you do it. Do it for the meme. But yeah, Balan Wonderworld was just terrible. I couldn't do it. I tried, but I just couldn't. But I played it. And then the worst, that's not the worst game of the year. Which I've seen people making like pieces defending Balan Wonderworld. I haven't read any of those. I don't know anything about those. It's a bad game. Just straight up. Like, I guess it could have been good, but it's not. And I don't know if you can like patch it to make it good. But the worst game I played this year was Pokemon Unite. The Pokemon MOBA is the worst game I played this year. Because it is the scummiest game I have seen. Like, seriously, it's like anything made by Activision Blizzard, EA, Ubisoft that has like microtransactions or loot boxes or, you know, freemium economies. It is worse than all of those. And they get away with it because it's Pokemon. Because Pokemon Unite has microtransactions. It has loot boxes. It has free-to-win mechanics. Or pay-to-win mechanics, I mean. You can pay money to win at that game. You know, the cardinal sin in video games, according to people. Pokemon Unite has it, and people just don't care because it's Pokemon. Fuck that game. It's some of the scummiest bullshit I have ever seen in a game. And they get away with it because they're Pokemon. Like, straight up. And, like, it's something that I just blocked from my consciousness. Because it's so bad. I don't like how Fall Guys and Among Us have microtransactions, and I think that sucks. Because they're good games, and the fact that they have microtransactions hold them down. I'm fine with free games having microtransactions. And yes, Pokemon Unite is a free game. But, like, pay-to-win loot boxes, nope. No game should have those. Just straight up, no game should have any of that. But Pokemon Unite has it all. It's a free game, but you know it's a free game because they want kids to play it. And it's Pokemon because they want kids to play it. They want kids to play these games and spend money to get their favorite Pokemon, or to get cute costumes for their favorite Pokemon. it's as scummy. Like Fortnite, you know, for all my problems with Fortnite, and they do market towards children, of course. They don't want to say they market towards children, but they do. But for all my problems with Fortnite, they never went as bad as Pokemon Unite. Not even close. Pokemon Unite is the scum of the earth. It's terrible in by all facets. Oh my god. It's... Oh, fuck. Oh shit, I was doing that. But yeah, fuck Pokemon Unite. And the fact that they get away with it all. And, like, I have the same problem with GTA. Because GTA Online gets away with a lot of shit because it's GTA and people don't call them out. I didn't play the GTA trilogy. That could have easily been, like, one of my worst games as well. But I didn't play it, so I don't have a strong opinion on it either way. You can tell some of them are already given up. But yeah, so those are some terrible games. Let's talk about some good ones. So, my number 10 game of the year... I didn't make graphics this year. I didn't even think about it. I haven't made graphics for this in a long time. My number 10 game of the year is Carto. So, Carto is a game where you're like a little child lost in... Like, you're with your grandma, who's on, like, her airship, but you fall out of the airship, and you land on this island, and, like, the world... You have, like, a magic map, and it's a puzzle game. You basically have to build the world by getting pieces of the map. I played it on Xbox Game Pass earlier this year, at the very beginning of the year. I'm talking, like, January, like, 2nd. And I really enjoyed it. I didn't love it, but I enjoyed it. It was fun. Like, some of the puzzle stuff gets kind of bullshit. I think I did 100% it, if I remember correctly. But, and, like, there is some dumb stuff and some, like, puzzles where you can get absolutely lost. But, other than that, I enjoyed what was there. I think the idea of, like, using the map to, like, build the world, and you can, like, rearrange the pieces as time goes on to, like, you know, get, like, better, to, like, there are certain puzzles where you have to, like, arrange pieces in certain order. Oh, yeah, we're out. We didn't make it there fast enough. Yeah, you have to arrange, so, like, you have to, like, there's a one where you have to, like, put flowers. You have to make, like, a ring of flowers, and when you make the ring of flowers, it'll, like, make something spawn in the middle. And, like, so there's puzzles like that. There's some dumb stuff in there. But I really enjoyed it. I think it's really fun. You've got some nice characters. You got some really nice moments. It's a cute game. And you go through, like, a wide adventure. Like, you go to a volcano. There's a desert section that... But you got some fun characters in there. It's just a nice, lighthearted game. It's a nice puzzle game. I think I 100%ed it in, like... I don't know, probably, like, 10 hours, maybe 20. It's a short enough game, but... Yeah, it was enjoyable. I'd been wanting to play it for a while, and when I saw it was on Game Pass, because I got Game Pass late last year. When I saw it was on Game Pass, I was like, I wanted to play it. There were so many games on Game Pass that I wanted to play and just didn't. Outer Wilds, Ikenfell, so much. And there are so many games I didn't play this year. I actually have a list. Games I did not play this year that could have made this list. Deathloop, It Takes Two, Resident Evil Village, Loop Hero, Returnal, Kena Bridge of Spirits. Again, I'm questionable about that one. Forza Horizon 5, Halo Infinite, Life is Strange True Colors, Deltarune Chapter 2, New Pokemon Snap, Super Monkey Ball, No More Heroes 3. None of those games are going to be on this list, spoiler alert. I own some of those games. I own Monkey Ball, I own Deathloop, I think It Takes Two is on Game Pass, I think Forza is on Game Pass, Halo Infinite's on Game Pass, Deltarune Chapter 2 is free. But I just didn't get around to playing them. I played a fair bit of games this year. I think I played, what, like... I played 34 games this year, which is more than I normally do. But still. So, back on track, Game of the Year. At number 9, Bowser's Fury. Now, I'm saying specifically Bowser's Fury because of I like 3D World could have easily been on a previous year's list. And I really care about Bowser. Like, I liked 3D World a lot. And I have more appreciation for it having played it this time around. Like, playing it when it came out, I was like, this is good, but I didn't, I wasn't blown away by it. But playing it again, I appreciate it more. But I was really impressed with Bowser's Fury. It takes like 6 hours to beat. I think it took like 6 hours to 100%. But it's a really solid, really good 6 hours. Again, it goes back to that thing I was talking about the other day, like Portal. Portal is really good, especially because it's only 2 hours. Bowser's Fury is really good, especially because it's only 6 hours, and that's 6 hours to 100% it. You can probably do it much faster. I was really impressed with Bowser's Fury. It's just a very solid experience. It probably could have been up higher on this list, but I rate certain things differently. Like I have my certain parameters, and I rate certain things lower, and like a DLC I rate lower just because it's DLC. But Bowser's Fury could have easily been higher up on this list, just because it's a very solid experience that is really well done. But it's DLC to 3D World. And while it is... and it gives me hope of, like, maybe what a Mario Odyssey 2 could be, or what a, or what, like, the next mainline Mario game could be. Because Mario... because it is basically open world. And they could really do some interesting stuff with it. But yeah, Bowser's Fury is just a fun time, and the whole giant Bowser stuff is really neat. And like how just Bowser like attacks you it looks really cool. The areas are fun. There's a lot of repetitiveness in it. Like Sea of Gaming, who I haven't really watched that much this year. I don't know. I don't think they've put out much stuff this year either. Or at least in a while. Did a video on Bowser's Fury and how like, oh, it reuses a lot. Like you look at like a game like Banjo-Kazooie, which does like a lot of interesting stuff in every level, compared to Yooka-Laylee, which does a lot of repetitiveness. And Bowser's Fury kind of falls into the same trap. It has a lot of repetitiveness to it, but I still really enjoyed it. Next up, at number 8, Slime Rancher. So I think Slime Rancher 2 got announced at E3, and while I had a lot of free time this year, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna play Slime Rancher. It's on Game Pass, and I've got a lot of free time right now, because, I'm waiting for E3 conferences. I'm just going to play Slime Rancher in the meantime. And I really enjoyed it. I wasn't blown away by it, and, like, because I 100%ed a few games this year, because, I think that's fun. Like, I went back and I re-100%ed Donut County, and I re-100%... There's a Jack Skellington costume? I didn't know that. That's neat. I 100%ed Donut County, or at least on Game Pass to, get all the achievements. 100%ed Donut County, 100%ed Untitled Goose Game again, 100%ed Cardo, and I did a few other things. Slime Rancher was one I was like, maybe I could, but then I realized, like, everything you have to do, and I was like, oh god, this is gonna be a nightmare and a half. Oh my gosh. And, like, some of the items, like, as you try, like, one of the things I like about certain farming games and certain, like, simulation games is when you get far enough into them, you can start automating things, and, like, systems will start doing it for themselves, like Nom Nom Galaxy. Once you get far enough into Nom Nom Galaxy, you unlock the systems to basically have the soup plant make soup itself. Like, it needs no human interaction. And there's just something super satisfying about getting to that point. And I tried to do that in Slime Rancher, and you just can't. Like, there are, like, these bees that are supposed to, like, help you automate things, but it just doesn't work as well as I wanted it to. But there's a lot of fun stuff in there. There's a lot of good, like, I was so glad once I got the ability to make teleporters. Because, God, it took forever, but you really want those teleporters, man. There are some areas that take forever to get back to, but once you can make teleporters, you don't gotta worry about it anymore. But because the crafting system in that game is something that I didn't love, like, because you gotta, like, go to these areas and plant like these specific like drills and like water aqueducts to like get specific crafting material, when most of the game is just you buying and selling plops. But you know, the slime stuff and the exploration stuff is really good. There's a bit of puzzle solving in there, and like I like some of the puzzle solving, like when you have to like get slimes to like make plops to like solve puzzles. That was interesting. You only have to do it like once or twice, but I liked when you did it. And then it was nice to like every slime worked a little differently, and you got to create like different pens for different slimes. Like except for the phase slimes that can like phase through stuff. Hated working with those things. But other than that, it was nice to have like, oh, this is where I'm gonna keep my normal slimes. These are where I'm gonna keep my rock slimes. This is where I'm gonna put my exploding slimes and whatnot. And then you like grow farms to like give them special food that makes them double produce items. Right? It's about optimization, but the thing that kept it higher was that I couldn't optimize as much as I wanted to. I mean, I'm sure somebody could with like enough bees. You can do exactly what you want, but I couldn't. But I still enjoyed it. The story, I mean, like, I was only half paying attention. Again, I talked earlier about, like, it's nice to, like, put on a YouTube video and listen to, like, a podcast. Or play a game and put on, like, a podcast or a YouTube video. Slime Rancher was a great game for that. And I just had it running in the background for a while, and I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed putting it on in the background, but I didn't pay too much attention to the story. But I know it's getting a sequel later this year, I think, and hopefully that sequel will be good. I think it'll be on Game Pass, so I'll probably play it again. But the original game was good. It was fine. Next up at number 7. Okay, this is an interesting one. Cookie Clicker. I remember when Cookie Clicker blew up back in the day. Oh god, this was what, like 2014, 2016. It's probably even older than that. But when the original Cookie Clicker blew up and it was just like a browser thing, I was like, oh, that's interesting. And, you know, I messed around with it for a little bit. I do have a soft spot for simulation games like that. Not freemium simulation games like that Marvel Strike Force or bullshit like that, where it's like the game just plays itself and you're just like an avid spectator that encourages you putting microtransactions. No, I don't like games like that. But like games like Forager, which Forager I compared to Cookie Clicker. But I had never really played that much Cookie Clicker until it came to Steam this year. It came to Steam, it was like $5. And I might have even got it cheaper than that on like a Steam sale. No, maybe I didn't actually. It was Cookie Clicker after all. I think it was like $5, and I was like, you know what? I'll pay $5 to put time into Cookie Clicker. And, you know, just, I wasn't even really playing it that much. I just had it running in the background while I did other things. And I had it running in the background for like a month and a half, maybe even 2 months. I put, according to Steam, I think I put over 400 hours into it. No, I think, I should actually check. I want to say it was 400. It might have been less than that. It might have been 300. But I put a fair bit of time into Cookie Clicker this year. Again, mostly as a passive background. Eventually I did get like a program that like auto clicks for me. That I could just like put this program in and it'll like automatically click a button for me. It'll like automatically press the mouse, which is like that. It is an idle game, like where you just go idle. I don't recommend playing it, or if you play it as one, put an auto clicker on. Play Cookie Clicker with an auto clicker. Don't like there are certain items that like help with like auto clicking. Yeah, don't use those. Or there's an item where you generate like 100 times more cookies as long as you have as long as you don't press the cookie. Yeah, don't use that. That doesn't, like, the amount of clicks you get for an auto clicker and golden cookies is so much more. Like, it's astronomical, the difference you make. Like, I'm not joking about that. Like, it's an astronomical difference. How, like, just a single, like, good golden cookie, or even, like, doubling up on it. Getting a double golden cookie, or, like, getting, Dragon Reach and, So there's like a multiplier for like 777, and then there's a multiplier for like Dragon's Breath or whatever that gets you like 1,000 times for like 20 seconds, and then you get like a billion cookies, and no, not even a billion. You get like dodecatillion in like 15 seconds, and it's just, oh my god. And my goal, the goal is to get every achievement. I got a good like 50%, probably. Actually, it's probably closer. You know, do I still have Steam open? Let me just see if I still have Steam open. To see how many I got. What percentage I got. But I put a stupid amount into Cookie Clicker. Over like, let's see. I got over, of the achievements, I got 430 of 530. So I was more than, what, like 4/5 through the game? And the reason I stopped playing, or the reason I stopped, is not because, like, I had finished it. And it probably would have only taken me 100 more hours to finish it, which I know sounds like a lot, but when you just have it on in the background all day, it really ain't that much. But the reason I stopped... Oh, God, there we go. That loses it for me right there. Because they're gonna get it. Yep. The reason I stopped is because there's an achievement to prestige 1,000. There's an achievement to prestige 100 times, and there's a hidden achievement to prestige 1,000 times. I could not do that because that I did the math. I could prestige in 30 seconds. I think it was like 30, 40. It was like 30 seconds in like 20 seconds of load screens or something like that. You know, there was a certain thing, and it was like, okay, if I think I used the number of like a minute. If it took me a minute to prestige, it would take me like 6 hours of non-stop actually playing the game to do it. And I was just like, I don't want to do that. Like, I did it, I prestiged 100 times, and that was like a nightmare. Prestiging 100 times took forever, and it was so annoying. I hated it. I hated prestiging 1,000 times, and I was like, I can't do this again. Or 100 times, and I was like, I can't do this 1,000 times. That would kill me. So that's where I stopped. And because you have to get these prestige achievements before you reach a certain point, or they just take forever to get. But yeah, I put a lot of time into Cookie Clicker, and I enjoyed it. Like, even though it was just an idle game I had running in the background, seeing numbers go up is super entertaining. It's just fun to occasionally look over, see the numbers gone up, and be like, yep, the numbers gone up. Oh, I hit you go from early on, it's like, oh my god, I made so much money, I made 1 billion cookies. And then you're making a dodecatillion, and it's like, oh my gosh, 1 billion is, I'm generating more than like 1 trillion a second. But I would love to one day finish it, but just doing that 1,000 resets is just too much. It's just too much. Like, there's a, like, because again, it's like, if it was passive play, which is what most of the game was, I'd be fine. But if active play, I just couldn't do that. But yeah, Cookie Clicker, I don't recommend it, but I did it. And I could probably get all the other achievements I'm missing, all the other 99 something that I am missing, I could probably do. And it'd probably take me like another 50 to 100 hours. But I want to do, but like, imagine just, that's me with Fall Guys. I have all the achievements but one, which is win 5 in a row. And I'll never get that one. And it irks me to this day. Next up, Mini Motorways. So, Mini Metro, I used to say Mini Metro was like in my top 10 favorite games of all time. I don't think I say that anymore, because in my head, I've put like 100 hours into Mini Motorways. In actuality, I think I've only put 30. Or Mini Metro, I mean. So, well, the devs who did Mini Metro, Dino Club, put out a sequel, Mini Motorways. Mini Metro is about building train stations. Mini Motorways is about cars, connecting cars to like supermarkets and whatnot. It's the same type of gameplay loop. It works a little differently, but it's the same type of gameplay loop. And I think I put like 10 hours into it this year, which, again, in my head, it feels like a lot more than it actually is. But I really like, I don't like, puzzle games kind of are hit and miss for me, but there's just something about the simplicity of Mini Metro and the simplicity of Mini Motorways that I really enjoyed. And putting all that time into Mini Motorways, I was like, and they have daily challenges, they have weekly challenges. I hit my all-time record in the daily challenges the other day, or in like daily challenges the other day. I wonder, where do I find Steam screenshots? Because I took a screenshot of it. Was it this one? Yeah, so this is it. It was in a daily challenge, Dubai. I hit 3766, and that's what the city looked like. And because the trick is extreme segregation, and you can see it if you look at that, like this blue only connects to certain things, and I mean, eventually when you get far enough in, the extreme segregation starts to break down, but it works. Which I know sounds terrible, but it works in this puzzle game. And I just loved it. I loved Mini Motorways. Just getting a city to work. Sometimes, like, the randomness can screw you over. But getting it to work works really well. And in some ways, I think this is better than Mini Metro. Because, like, in Mini Metro, you can get screwed by just getting, like, 10 triangles in a row. And when you get 10 triangles in a row, there's just nothing you can do. You just get screwed. But in Mini Motorway, no, you never get 10 triangles in a row. You get stuff that screws over your segregation, but you never get 10 triangles in a row. So in some ways, I think Mini Motorways is actually the better game. But it also, like, Mini Metro just has so much content into it. And Mini Motorways has gotten a few updates. I think they added New Zealand at one point. But it's still got a ways to go. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. And yeah, one day it could totally overpass Mini Metro. But for the moment, it's more of the same, and I really like it. Also, I don't know if traffic lights work or not. Like, I know there was an update at one point that supposedly made traffic lights better, but I'm still not entirely sure about that. So at number 5, so I got a PS5 this year. We're playing on PS5 right now. And the PS5 comes with a game on it called Astro's Playroom. And Astro's Playroom is my number 5 game of the year. So there's a game called Astrobots Rescue Mission on PSVR that I have heard is amazing. Like, I have heard it's like a PSVR showcase, but it's so good. And Astro's Playroom is a PS5 showcase. It's meant to show off like the HD rumble, the haptic feedback triggers and all that on the PS5, and it just does a fantastic job. It's a love letter to PlayStation. It's most comparable to Nintendo Land, but it's a better. But like, whereas Nintendo Land's got like a few good mini games and a few bad mini games, it's just an all-around great package. It's pretty short. I did 100% it, of course, but it's a fun game. It's a fun little short game. It's a platformer, right? It kind of in the style of like a 3D World. It's a 3D platformer. But it's a really good 3D platformer that's really fun and really entertaining, and it's got some great set pieces. It uses the controls it takes full advantage of the controls. I'll say that. Like, when it's like, whereas Nintendo Land was a showcase for the Wii U, and it used it. It didn't do anything amazing with it, but it used it. Astro's Playroom just like does it to its full effect. Everything that you'd want it to do, it does to its full. And I was just so impressed with Astro's Playroom. I really enjoyed it. It's a short experience, but it's more than worthy of your time. If you can get a PS5, you set aside the 2 hours to do it. Or if you ever want to show off, like, if people ever are like, well, what's the DualSense controller like? Because, you know, they've heard about, like, the haptic feedback, the haptic triggers, or, you know, it has HD Rumble. It is a better use of HD Rumble than that freaking 1-2 Switch was. and it doesn't cost $50. Like, 1-2-Switch should, like, 1-2-Switch is decent. It's a decent showcase. It's not a good game. It's a decent showcase of HD Rumble and, like, what the Joy-Cons can do. Astrobot's Playroom knocks it out of the water. Like, this is what 1-2-Switch should have been. Oh my gosh. But I was so impressed with Astro's Playroom. Just again, it's a short experience, but it's a fun little experience. Next up, Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity. Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity was a game I started early in the year. Then my Switch broke. Did we get out? I wasn't paying attention. So I started it early in the year. I was enjoying it. I don't really... Dynasty Warriors has never been a game that I seemed like I would like. Because there's a lot of repetitiveness to it. Like, it's very, like, cyclical. And, you know, I don't really... It doesn't seem like that's a game I would like. But, you know, podcast games are a big deal for me nowadays. So, and Hyrule Warriors, at least during the non-story missions, was a pretty decent podcast game. And that's exactly what I used it as a podcast game. And as a podcast game, it worked pretty decently. And I started it early in the year. Like, I started it in, like, January. But I finished it in, like, November. Because I didn't have a Switch for, like, 6 months. So, without a Switch, I just had to wait on it. Like, I was near the end. Like, I was, like, 2 story missions away from beating the game. And I just had to wait. Oh, we're not in squads, are we? I just realized, I was like waiting there for my squad. But yeah, it's really fun. All the characters are super interesting. They make some interesting character choices. Let's actually do some squads. I don't love all the characters. Like, some of the characters you unlock later on down the line, I didn't really care for. The DLC is a thing that came out. I haven't played it, and I don't plan on buying it anytime soon. Because I enjoyed it, but I don't know if I'd do a DLC. And, like, I know I think I put, like... Did I put, like, 60 hours into it? And I think it would take, like, another 20 for me to 100%. But I don't think I want 100% it. Because at some point, I hit, like, a skill ceiling where, like... Or at least with certain characters. Where, like, there were certain characters I just wasn't getting any better at. And, like, there were certain missions I had to beat with those characters that I just couldn't beat. So once I hit that skill ceiling, I kind of slowed down a little bit. But I still really enjoyed it. I like the story. I know people have problem with it. Guess what? It's a time travel story. Because it's like, oh, it's the story of the Calamity that leads into Breath of the Wild. But there's a little time travel fuckery that's going on. You know, spoiler alert. This egg thing travels back in time and basically is trying to stop everyone from dying. Like, that's not the whole reason that's not the reason it did. But, like, it has that power to, like, time travel. And using the power of time travel, hey, guess what? All the champions, they don't have to die anymore. They can survive, and we can stop Calamity Ganon before it kills everybody. Right? And and of course, like, there's more than just the egg time travels. And it's really, like, I know that makes it feel like it has less stakes. And I guess it kind of does. But it feels like its own separate timeline, and I like that. Again, I am a fan of a happy ending, and you know, Age of Calamity gives everyone a happy ending. The original Breath of the Wild technically doesn't, it technically has a happy ending, but only barely, because, like, only Zelda and Link make it out. Age of Calamity gives everyone a happy ending, and I'm glad. And I like their happy ending. I like that it all works out in the end. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed Age of Calamity. I enjoyed a Warriors game. And I've owned... Again, I talk about buying bad games for like $5. I think I got Fire Emblem Warriors for $5 back in the day. And I've just kind of been sitting on it. And while I don't think I'm going to play it anytime soon, I might pick up Hyrule Warriors. Might not, but I might. God, we only had two people on our team quit. That sucks. But yeah, at number 3, the game of the year, Bugsnax. So last year I had a running joke about how Bugsnax was the game of the year, but I hadn't actually played Bugsnax. Well, early in the year, like March-ish, someone let me borrow a PS5 for like 2 days to play Bugsnax, and we played through all of Bugsnax in like a 2-hour, I think it was like a 12-hour stream that I edited down into like a 2-hour video. Okay, it was actually probably closer to like a 3-hour video. Bugsnax, the Game of the Year Bugsnax, which its title is Game of the Year Bugsnax. And it's my number 3. I know, the joke is that it's Game of the Year Bugsnax. It should be Game of the Year. It's not. I really enjoyed it. It's very fun. I like exploring. I love the characters. Oh my god. Chadlow and his boyfriend, the conspiracy guy, shit, I don't remember his name, are so good, and I love their relationship so much. All the characters are so much fun. The ending is very weird, okay, I'll say that. I'm not gonna give it away, but the ending is very weird. But other than that, I really enjoyed it. We 100%ed it. It was very fun. I like the Bugsnax are cute. I love the characters. And the Isle of Bigsnax DLC is later this year. I think it's March. I don't quote me on that. There might not be a confirmed release date. But the Isle of Bigsnax, I'm so excited for more. And it's just a good game. It's very fun. It's very enjoyable. It's very creative while being a little weird. If you can't tell based on everything I've talked about on like this year in a review, I like weird things. I like some weird things, and Bugsnax is a weird thing that's very enjoyable. God, I wonder what did that to me, like, because like I didn't always weird things, but was it Adventure Time? Was it regular show? Does it go back to the Marvelous Misadventures of Flapjack and Courage the Cowardly Dog? Probably, actually. I guess I just like weird things. I don't like weird, creepy things. I like weird, enjoyable, lighthearted things. And I know it, and you can get away with, like, Bugsnax ending is weird. And it goes into that creepy territory, but it works because the rest of it's so lighthearted. And, like, you can do that. Like, Adventure Time's Lich. Like, the Lich gets dark, but you can get away with it because the rest of the show is so lighthearted. I know some people complain about tonal shift. Yeah, I don't have a problem with that. As long as you don't abuse it, you know? But yeah, Bugsnax is just so much fun. I could play another... I could do it again easily. And I'm glad I 100%ed it. Not every character was amazing, I should say. There were... That shaman lady got to me eventually, but so many of them are so good, and I could do it again. I could do it again. And I will. Isle of Bigsnax, man. Right around the corner. Will I stream it? Maybe. Depending on when it comes out. Again, right now, what's futzing up everything is Animal Crossing. That and my copious amounts of college work. God, I go back in 2 days. Oh, gosh. I go back in 2 days. I'm not ready. But yeah, Bugsnax. Game of the Year. Even though it's placed at number 3. Oh my gosh. You did great. Next up, at number 2, so there was early on in the year, there were 2 games that I was told if I were to play them, they'd probably end up in my Game of the Year. One of them was Loop Hero, a game that if you heard that list earlier of games I didn't play, Loop Hero was amongst them. Didn't play Loop Hero. I technically do own it, because they gave it away for free on the Epic Game Store. But I haven't played Loop Hero, and and I was waiting for it to come to Switch, and it finally did in December, but I'm gonna wait a little bit to pick it up. Same thing with, because I'd rather pick up like that Shovel Knight Pocket Dungeon first, which I also didn't play this year. Love Shovel Knight, one of my favorite games of all time. Didn't pick up Pocket Dungeon. But yeah, so I was told Loop Hero might be one of my games of the year. Didn't play it. The other game, which I was told by a friend was probably going to be my game of the year, and then on podcast they talked very highly of it as well. Thinking of Emron Con specifically, was Chicory. And I finally, in December, got around to playing Chicory, and it is my number 2 game of the year. Yeah, you know, I was really, I enjoyed it, because it's a game so you're like a little dog, who my dog was named Pizza, because it's based on because all the characters are based on food, and I named my dog Pizza. And so Pizza, right, you work for the wielder, who like holds the magical brush that can paint things with color. And one day the wielder goes missing, but leaves behind the magic brush, the land is drained with color, and now it's your job to become the wielder. And, you know, fix, like, there's this, like, corruption in the land, and your job is to fix it. And it was nominated at the Game Awards for Games for Impact, because it is a game about mental health. Because, hey, guess what, spoiler alert, you find Chicory eventually, and you find out they struggle with mental health. And as the game goes on, your main character, your dog, Pizza, struggles with mental health as well. And that's a big part about living up to expectations. I guess dealing with burnout kind of comes up as well, but burnout is not there as much as you'd think. It's more about, yeah, expectations and, like, are you worthy of the title of being the wielder? And it's really heartfelt. I don't think it made me cry, but I don't know. Video games don't really make me cry. I can't really, like, even some of, like, the heartfelt games I love, they don't make me cry. I don't know, maybe I'm just not playing certain things. But Chicory was really good. And there's this one moment where you and Chicory just, like, relax in a river for a little bit. And, like, you can get out at any point. But you can also just stay in the river and talk for a while. And it was just like, oh my god, this is amazing. Like, the dialogue is so well written. The characters are so fun. Like, I love the sister. Like, your dog, Pizza, has, like, a sister, an older sister. And I loved her. She was so great. And, like, just, like, these emotional, like, moments. Because, like, your dog, like, Pizza, doesn't know, like, can they do it? And you just, like, you go to a pizza shop and talk with your sister about it. And it's like, oh my gosh, it's just so good. And, like, the emotions are all there. Again, I'm trying to kind of be vague on purpose. It's on Switch. I played it on PS5. It's also on Switch. And it's really good. It's just really heartfelt. The emotions are really good. I wanted it to stick, right, it was almost Game of the Year. It all depended on the ending. And the ending is good, but I don't think it's as good as I wanted it to be. Like, there was just something missing. I like the conclusion it comes to, because, like, near the end, Chicory tells you something, and I was like, I don't agree with this. And and luckily it doesn't go the way that you think it's going to go. Kind of. It's a little complicated, but it's a game about mental health, and it's really good. It's a game about mental health and creating art. And how does creating art affect your mental health? And again, it kind of touches on burnout. Maybe that's just how I read it. Maybe it touches on burnout way more. Because, like, when I think of mental health and creating art, I think of burnout, which is something real that I have experienced time and time again. It touches on, it touches on imposter syndrome, though, and I love how it did that. I love it's touching on imposter syndrome. But yeah, it deals with mental health. But I don't know, I relate it with burnout, and it just didn't talk about burnout that much, or at least the way I interpreted it, it didn't. But, you know, it didn't need to. It didn't need to. And again, it's stuff with imposter syndrome is so good. But it tackles so many issues, and it all does it so well. It's just a great game, and it's about creating art. And you can just, like, spend time. You know what? Before this ends, I'll show off my art. I'll figure out where I took screenshots in this thing. But I'll show off some of my art I created. Because I took pictures occasionally. And yeah, you get to color the world, and you do some colorful things. But yeah, I'll show off some of the art I created. Because I didn't 100% it. I think I might go back and do it one day. But you create some art, and you do some painting, and it's fun. And, you know, sometimes you can just create art for your sake. And even though I do not consider myself an artist, I did try. I tried to make some good art. Was it good? I don't know. But I tried to make something good. I really did. This ice cream is so annoying. Yeah, that was Chicory. So, before we go into number 1, which should probably be kind of obvious based on what else has come up in this list. Before we go into number 1, I do have a few honorable mentions. These are in no particular order, and these are things that could have made it on the list that didn't for a number of reasons. So first off, honorable mention, 2D and Top D. This is a 2D platformer that has like 3D puzzle solving elements, because you shift between a 2D and a 3D perspective. And it's good. It's hard. The game gets difficult at points. And that was annoying. And yeah, the game gets difficult, and I didn't beat it. Like, the reason it's not on the list itself is because I hate that this ice cream is just coming for me. Oh my god. The reason it's not higher up on the list is because I didn't beat it. I only got like 2 or 3 worlds in. I didn't beat it. Yeah, that ice cream was just gunning for me. But yeah, I didn't beat it, but I enjoyed what I played of it. And maybe when I beat it next year, I'll put it on Game of the Year. Because I've been following the development of this game for like 2 years now. And again, I was super interested in it. I love the concept of like a 2D platformer where you can shift into third-dimensional space and place down platforms. Looked really interesting. It just gets hard. It gets hard, and some of the puzzles can stump you for a little bit. But I will finish it one day. And I will, maybe it'll make the list. What else? Oh, I still have Slime Rancher. At one point, I didn't have Slime Rancher on the list, and then I put it on the list. And I still left it in honorable mentions. Rain on Your Parade was a game I just randomly one day saw on Xbox Game Pass. Like, when it got added to Game Pass, and I was like, oh, a game about being like a happy cloud. That could be fun. And yeah, it's pretty fun. In a worse year, it would have totally made the list. And it does a lot of different things. Like, there's an entire segment that's like a Zelda parody. And they parody like a bunch of different things. And yeah, you're just a little rain cloud raining on people's like stuff. And eventually it gets like... And you like do some weird stuff. And... like there's a bunch of references to like indie games, and you get to dress up your little cloud. Oh, I didn't even mention in Chicory, I dressed up my pizza and I made her really cute. I don't, pizza doesn't have a gender. They're whatever you want them to be, but I just assumed my pizza was a girl, because I gave them a cute little bow tie, or not bow tie, just a bow in their hair. Yeah, I just assume. I don't know. I feel like, God, this ice cream fucking hates me. Oh my god, I hate this ice cream. They won't leave me alone. Oh, fuck! Oh my god, no wonder this ice cream won't leave me alone. Oh, shit! Oh, they got eliminated. No! Oh my god! I was like, why won't this ice cream leave me alone? Oh, I just got stream sniped. I just got fucking stream sniped. Holy shit. Oh my god. That's hilarious. That is hilarious. That's my brother, by the way. I'll just say it. That's my brother. Oh my god. Oh fuck, I can't focus anymore. Oh fuck. You know, because that's not his normal costume. That's why I've completely lost focus. That's not his normal costume. That's why I didn't recognize him. What was I saying? Rain on Your Parade. Fun little Xbox game. You know, it's cute. It's enjoyable. I like it. It does some fun creative stuff. Again, it could have been on the list instead of Carto, but I put Carto instead. Let's see, what else? Oh, Mario Golf? Mario Golf wasn't anything amazing, but I enjoyed Mario Golf. It was fun. It was cute. I got a fair bit of DLC, but I never played it. I wanted to play more Mario Golf, and I just never did. But what I played of Mario Golf, I enjoyed. I did the story mode. It was fine. It's the best Mario sports game in recent years. But it's nothing amazing. Like, I wish they just get more creative with Mario Golf games. And Mario sports games in general. Like, Mario sports games should just not be you playing the sport. They should be doing interesting and fun things. But very rarely do they actually go that far. And that's always a disappointment. But I enjoyed Mario Golf. I don't have Pokemon on this list. I mean, I enjoyed Pokemon Diamond and Pearl for what it was. Or Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. But it did not make this list. I'll go this way. It was whatever. I mean, I had fun with it. But I'm not making the mistake of doing what I did a few years ago and putting Pokemon on the list. Because, again, in a better year, it wouldn't. Honestly, I would love to retcon a better game as my game of the year in 2018, but I just can't. Also Superliminal. I have officially retconned Superliminal as my number 10 game of the year last year. It technically wasn't. I played it last year. Oh, hey, I won. That's cool. I played it last year, and I just didn't. I forgot I played it. So it didn't make the list, but I played it again this year when it came to Game Pass, and yeah, I'm retconning it as my number 10 game of the year. So before we jump into another round, and before we jump into my game of the year, I said I was going to show off my art I did in Chicory. I don't know, is it good? I don't know, but I did it anyways. God, I can't believe we actually won one. That's cool. I was like, nah, that whole thing caught me off guard. So like I was not paying attention there. Okay, give me a second. Let me figure out where to find it real quick. I don't know if there's like a media control center or what. I don't know how. Let's see, media gallery, albums. Okay, we've just got I've just got this giant gallery for Chicory, so we're just going to go through it. So early on, they ask you to make a painting of, like, they just ask you to make a painting, and I was like, oh, I'll do that. That's cute. Is there, okay, I can. Then at one point, you're asked to, like, take this painting and recreate it. So that was my, so the painting in the middle is my recreation of the painting on the right. That was my best bet at doing it. I had no black, so I couldn't do like outlines. But you know, I tried. It's not a perfect recreation, but I tried. You got a bunch of stuff in here. Oh, also full spoilers, I should say. Just full spoilers for the game. At one point, you have to draw Chicory, and so that was my attempt at drawing Chicory. I thought it looked fine. Then Chicory draws you, and just that side-by-side comparison. Oh my god. Just difference of the world. Oh, and that's what my pizza looked like. The little dog, little cape. I thought it was cute. There's the sister, who I just loved. Oh, at one point, I drew ghosts. I don't remember, it was a cute creature. And I was like, oh, I want to draw, like, little cute ghosts. Like, I was thinking of that one dancing ghost video, like, you know, where they do the music. The middle one ended up scary, but, you know, I thought it was cute. You have to finish a logo, which is pizza, of course. A few achievements and whatnot. Oh, yeah, the inverted photo happens at some point. I gave Chicory a ponytail, or my dog a ponytail. And then you have to draw your dog at some point. You have to draw pizza. And so that's what I currently look like, but that's what I was going for. And that was because that cloak was my outfit for like most of the game. The colors changed around because I didn't realize until a good ways through the game that you could lock the colors in. But yeah, that was my attempt at drawing the dog. And then, these are a few achievements and whatnot. Again, this is full spoilers. There's a moment where you're, like, on the top of the mountain, and you sing a song, and that was cute. But then at one point, my dog, I got rid of the cape and gave them, like, a little scarf that I thought was really cute. And that's kind of how my dog looked for the end of the game. For, like, most of the game, my dog looked like that. But yeah, that was Chicory. How do I get back to Fall Guys? Fall Guys. Back to game. There we go. So yeah, there was some of my art in Chicory. There's like a bunch of other art challenges you can do throughout the game that I just never did. But they are there to do. There's like so many other art challenges in the game, but I just never did them. And again, I think I beat the game with, oh gosh, what was it? It was like, I beat the game with like 80% completion. And I'm assuming most of what I have to, there's like a few collectibles I didn't get. You have to pick up litter throughout the game. And I didn't do the paintings. And there was a few side quests as well. But yeah, what was there I enjoyed. Alright, let's hop back in as we talk about the game of the year. So, usually I'm very predictable when it comes to these things. In 2017, it was obviously going to be Breath of the Wild. It could have been Mario Odyssey, but it was going to be Breath of the Wild. I knew from the day I played it. In 2018, it was Celeste. I knew in January it was going to be Celeste, and sure enough, it was Celeste. 2019, I didn't play that many good games in 2019. Last year it was a split between Animal Crossing and Hades. It really was. And I ended up going Hades. I loved Animal Crossing. I played it every day for a year. I've played it every day for 600 days. Plus. Kind of. But I liked Hades. I think Hades was a better game. This year, it was a split between Chicory. At the end of the year, when I started playing Chicory, I knew Chicory was going to be... Like, I know people had told me it was going to be good, but, like, once I started playing it, I was like... Because, like, unlike Wandersong, I liked, but it was too reliant on music. Chicory is art, and while I don't get music, and I can't draw, but I can draw better than I can music, if that makes sense. So I was able to get down with Chicory, and I knew it was going to be high on the list, and I was open for it being number one, but at the end of the day, it didn't beat out, and what ended up taking number one. Metroid Dread. You knew it was coming. Metroidvania was a genre I didn't think too highly of. Like, yes, I played Samus Returns on the Game Boy way back in the day. But I never really thought that high of Metroidvania. And then, a few years ago, I just got into the genre, and I love it. I love Super Metroid. The original Metroid was whatever. Fusion was decent. I didn't love it as much as other people do, but I thought Fusion was decent. I loved Hollow Knight. I loved Dead Cells. I loved Gato Roboto was a cute little Metroidvania that I enjoyed. I enjoy me some Metroidvania. But when it came to a new Metroid, Samus Returns was a game I didn't think too highly of. Okay, the Samus Returns remake, I should say. I didn't think too highly of the Samus Returns remake. I didn't have too many expectations for it, honestly. Because, you know, it was different. And I played ASM2R, and I liked ASM2R. Or ASMR2, or whatever it was called. I don't remember what it was called, but I played it, and it was fun. Oh my gosh. What? Wait. I just saw that name. No, they're fucking with me. They're fucking with me at this point. They've got to both be completed in this. Oh my gosh, I'm getting stream sniped here. Of course, we're going out because, our teammates suck. I mean, I didn't do too great either, but I know we're being fucked with here. But yeah, so Metroid Dread, I was like, you know what? Hopefully this will be good. They haven't made again, Samus Returns happened, but it's been a long time since the last Metroid. Now, when Metroid Dread got revealed, there he is. He's the Among Us. Oh my god. We're gonna stick around on this for a minute. When Metroid Dread got revealed, I did not remember. There's a whole thing about Metroid Dread was a game that was in development for like the Game Boy Advanced, got canceled. I didn't know that. I knew that, but I had forgotten that. I didn't recognize the name. I don't have every piece of knowledge up in my dome piece. But when I found out about that, I was like, oh, that's neat. That's interesting. Metroid Dread. Really? Okay. Okay, Metroid Dread. And when the game, it looked good. They said they were leaning more into the horror roots, which I'm not entirely sure how I feel about that. I see him. Oh, there we go. There we go. Can this bean do us well? But yeah, I was like, okay, that's interesting. But I was he's playing to the stream. I was like, I don't know what to do with this. Like, I'm excited for it, but I guess I was hesitant. I guess I'll say that. Because, like, I know we're all excited for Metroidvanias, but after Hollow Knight just set the bar so high. And will I say Hollow Knight is better than Metroid Dread? Even though I think Hollow Knight was my number 2 game of the year the year I played it, whereas Metroid Dread is number 1. Yes, I will still say Hollow Knight's a better game. But Metroid Dread is no slouch. Even after all these years, they still know how... Again, it sucks that Metroid is sort of, kind of a dead franchise, because they know how to make a good Metroid. When they want to, Nintendo can make a great Metroid. Right? Like, they don't... There it is. There's the other beam. When they get lazy, but when they want to, they can do great. They can do great things. And Metroid Dread is great. It's got some linear elements to it, okay? Like, the game has a very specific path it wants you to go on, and you're going, like, you can't deviate from that too much. But when it wants to, it will keep you on that path. Like, seriously, it will, like, make sure you go the way it wants you to go. Nope, they're still in it. Yeah, when Metroid Dread wants you to, like, it will lean you on that path. It's kind of because even though Metroidvania is about exploration, Fusion was kind of linear, Zero Mission is linear, and Metroid Dread is kind of linear. But for some reason in the gaming industry, linear has become a bad word. It isn't. It shouldn't be a bad word. Linear is a good thing. I mean, if you're trying to do an open world thing and make it linear, then that becomes a problem. But when you're not, when you're trying to do something linear and you pull it off, you pull it off. Metroid Dread pretends to be open while actually being linear. And that's the thing. It pretends. But it's still, as a linear-ish thing goes, it's a really good linear thing. Like, it does it... Like, what it sets out to achieve, it does really well. And, you know, this is the end of Samus' story. I mean, yes, we have Prime, we have another Prime, we have... Because I don't remember where Prime fits into all this, but wherever it does, we've got more of it. Because I think Prime fits in between this. But this is basically the end of the story that starts at the original Metroid, spans, you know, Samus Returns, Other M, Fusion. This is the end of that story. And as an ending goes, it pays it off totally. I think the game itself it's fun to go around, it's fun to fight enemies. The bosses are hard. Like, honestly, the bosses are that jut in difficulty that then go back down. But there's a moment where you ride a boss. Like, where you jump on a boss and ride it to the end. And it's so cool. Like, some of the spectacle in this game is so good. Just the badass thing Samus does it's just like, oh my god, that's so cool. Final boss, fantastic. Okay, we're jumping back in. We're gonna do one more because I think I'm basically wrapped up here. We just gotta finish off this. I like the ending of Metroid Dread. I think it works really well. It's a good fitting conclusion. There's a plot twist in there that I don't think is that big of a deal. The Emmy stuff is interesting because the game turns into a stealth-based section, but it's not absolute. Like, you have a frame-perfect window if you fuck up. And sometimes it is annoying, and oh my gosh, like, there's a bit near the end where it's like, oh my god, you're just running through it. But when you get those powerful moments, when you get to finally, you've been running from the Emmy, and now you can turn back on it and kill it, it's satisfying. It's an all-around, just really well-executed, satisfying game. Is it the best Metroidvania? No. It still gets beat out by Hollow Knight. But, even still, is it as good as Super Metroid? Yeah. And Super Metroid was the bar standard for over 20 years. It lives up to it. I think it's 20 years. I think Super Metroid's like 92. Maybe 94. And I think Hollow Knight's 2015. Even though Hollow Knight might be 2017. And Super Metroid was the bar standard for 20 years. And it lives up to that bar standard. It's really good. It's really fun. It's not very scary, like it's not like scary wise, but it's got its tense moments. It's got its exploration moments, but it's also got its linear moments. It does what it sets out to do very well. And it was a good game. And it was Oh, we're on different platforms. Okay. Because I'm looking for them. It was a good year for gaming. I'll say that. Like, this, when I looked at, like, the 30 games I'd played this year, I thought, oh, this is going to be a hard list to make. And it was, the top spots were easy. Like, I knew what the top spots were going to be. Honestly, like, the top 7 were super easy to do. But it was those bottom few where it was like, oh my gosh, I played so many things. Like I mentioned, like Rain on Your Parade could have easily been there. Slime Rancher was in honorable mentions for a while, and I accidentally left it on there. Really, it was a good year for gaming. It wasn't like there was nothing this year like Hades or like Animal Crossing. Like Animal Crossing took the world by storm. Hades is just one of the greatest games ever. Like, Metroid Dread is good. It's not as good as Hades. Just straight up, I'll say that. There was nothing that big this year. But there was a lot of good, solid stuff. There was a lot of bullshit in the gaming industry. We talked about Pokemon Unite. But there was... Oh. There was a lot of good stuff. And there was a lot of stuff I enjoyed. And yeah, that was gaming, and that was my Game of the Year list. I said it would take about an hour. It took about an hour. And yeah, we played some Fall Guys. I enjoyed Fall Guys. I gotta clip that thing, that ice cream. That was such a, oh my god. But yeah, I enjoyed this year in gaming. And I think 2022 is gonna be just as good. I really do. We start off this year with Pokemon and Elden Ring. We got Horizon. We got God of War, Breath of the Wild sequel. It's a good year in gaming. And I'm excited to see where it's going to go. I'm excited to still be here and doing this. I know I'm always very busy. And I don't play as... And I played a fair bit of game this year. I felt like I don't have that much time. But I played a fair few things this year. And hopefully, and I know not, like, a lot of things, and I replayed a few things, and, like, some things I didn't even mention that I liked, like, yeah, that would have made the list. Oh god, I 100%ed 12 minutes, which was terrible. Mario, oh gosh, I love Mario Party. That should have been honorable mentions. But it was a good year for gaming. Not an amazing year, but a good year. And honestly, we can go anywhere from here. I have not been counting. Straight up, I was not counting anything. I'm gonna trust my teammates. But yeah, it was... I thought it was fine. And yeah, this next year is gonna be good. 4. I see 2 pairs. 1 coconut thing. Four of these things. Yeah, it's just another year. And yeah, Metroid Dread gets added to my Game of the Year list that goes back to, what, 2000? Yeah. I really should retcon 2019's Pokemon Sword. It's just, I look at the list, and I see, like, the only other thing would be Golf Story. Like, I mean, either that or Mario Maker 2, which I don't think would be... Like, I enjoyed Mario Maker 2, but Game of the Year... But then I say Pokemon Sword and Shield, Game of the Year? No. God, I really should retcon that list. And there's nothing that's stopping me. I mean, I had to retcon Undertale onto the list. And whatnot. It's a very bad list. Like, oh my god. God, Assassin's Creed is on this list. Assassin's Creed 2. Game of the Year in 2012. Fuck, why can't Ubisoft make good games anymore? Why can't Ubisoft stop being a shitty company so I could play their games again? 'Cause God, I loved Ubisoft back in the day. Do I have a you know, I ended on a negative note yesterday. We're not ending on a negative note today. You know, it's the first of the year. Will things be different? No. But you know, it's the first of the year. Let's at least pretend. I mean, look how this year, last year ended with the tragic passing of Betty White, and now this year starts with Joe leaving Impractical Jokers. Like, fuck, man. We're already not off to a good start. I watched a lot of Impractical Jokers last year. It's on HBO Max. Oh my gosh. I've seen every episode at least twice at this point. And I'm kind of, like, it's a formulaic show. And once you watch it enough times, I'm just like, I'm sick of it. Like, I'm ready to, like, I gotta watch something different. I'm so out of it with Impractical Jokers at this point. Good show. Like, it's funny. But I'm just, like, tired of it. Because it becomes formulaic. And, like, once you've seen enough of it, you've seen it all. Hey, maybe we'll get a good Pokemon game. An actual good Pokemon game, not an obligation good Pokemon game. God, that's less than a month away now. That's this month. We get a Pokemon game. Oh my gosh. Wait, what? It was fun. There was a bunch of games like I continued. Like I played so much Fall Guys this year. Like I was playing it like not every day, but I was playing it a lot just to do like the daily challenges. We were streaming it every week. I played a bunch of Pokemon this year. Again, I complained about Sword and Shield. I played a bunch of Sword and Shield this year. I got I got shiny Pokemon. I have the worst shiny luck in the world. And I got a shiny Zoro and a Zoroark. You know how rare that is for me? I get one shiny per generation. And I used mine up with Cutiefly, with Pookie. And now but no, I got another shiny this year. Played Animal Crossing a bunch. Again, I'm enjoying it now, but eventually it'll end. One day I will put down... I'll tell you this right now. Later this year, when I put down Animal Crossing New Horizons, I won't pick it up ever again. Once that's it, once I'm done with it, I'm done with the game. I will not play another Animal Crossing until the next one. And even then, if they do another Animal Crossing, they're going to have to basically reinvent the series. Kind of like Smash Bros. You can't just do the same thing again. You gotta reinvent it. I played a bunch. Did I get every spirit in Smash Bros this year? I think I did that last year. Again, I'm technically missing 3 because, stupid bullshit. But I got every spirit in Smash Bros. I think that was either this year or last year. I played a lot of good games. There are a lot of good games out there, and I played a fair few of them. And then next, I'm gonna play, hopefully soon I'll play Halo Infinite. That'll be good. I get to play Halo Infinite. Maybe I get to play, actually, that's probably not gonna happen for a while. Microsoft Flight Simulator. Oh my god, I want to play Microsoft Flight Simulator so bad. It's on the Series X. Because you better believe my PC can't run it. My PC can barely run mini motorways. Nah, I can run it fine. Yeah, Microsoft Flight Simulator. I need to play Horizon. You know what? I'll just say it. I already started playing Miles Morales. After with the new year, like last night, I was just like, I'm just sitting around here. I beat Pokemon. I beat Chicory. You know what? It's time to start Miles Morales. So yeah, I'm only like 2 hours into it, but I'm already really enjoying it. And I'm going to 100% it because I 100%ed the original Spider-Man. And maybe we'll play the original Spider-Man again on stream. Making no promises right now because, again, I'm a very busy person, sadly. But who knows? Who knows? That was... I have all these stream ideas, and so far I've done... I want to say 3 of them. Where were I? Sucks. We could have totally gotten that. We've done 5 of them. Okay. Because I forgot we did Peggle. Yeah, that sucks that we're out. Whatever. Fall Guys, great game. Microtransactions suck. And it's cool that they've been doing all the indie game costumes. They've been giving those all away throughout the week. Or not giving them away, but you can pay crowns for them. Wrong trigger. Yeah, they've been doing all the indie game costumes, like the bullets in stock right now. Still really like me some Fall Guys. And my chicken man who's Hotline Miami, and maybe I could get the bottom half for, because I never did. Yeah, that's game. So that's the year in review. That's looking back at a year in 2021. Terrible fucking year, but there was a few highlights along the way. And I go back to school in 2 days. Hey, I think this is the first time I've streamed my PS5 since I got one. That's cool. Because, yeah, I know it is because I had to turn off HDCP on it. Yeah. Yeah. I know I feel like I'm ending on an awkward note here. Honestly, the stream snipe thing threw me off. Honestly. It was funny as hell, but it caught me off guard. But, oh, my Nintendo Switch Online goes up in 3 days. I need to renew it. I think it goes up in 3 days. Either that or it goes up in February. I haven't checked. But yeah, there's a lot of good games. There's a lot more I gotta play. One day I'll beat Baba Is You. God, I keep trying and I keep getting stuck. Into the Breach. I downloaded it. I downloaded Into the Breach last night. Spiritfarer. So many good games I need to play. Spiritfarer was the game in 2020 I was told was going to be my game of the year. If I'd actually played it. Same friend told me that. Whatever. But yeah, I feel like I'm just ending on... I feel like I'm ending on an awkward note here. We've been going for 2.5 hours. But, yeah. Tomorrow we'll be back, more Animal Crossing. I don't know what we're doing. Maybe we'll go... It's been a few days since we've been to the Happy Home Paradise. Maybe we should go back. Maybe we'll start replacing Clyde with somebody who's cool. Again, I have like a million choices and I don't know who I like. So, I don't know. Yeah, we've got a whole year ahead of us. A lot of time, a lot to do. But it'll come when it comes. For that, I hope you all enjoyed. Stay tuned for more. Till next time, peace.